Carmela, do you like a good mystery?
I love a good mystery.
Well, what if that mystery is a red wine blend?
Isn't that the best kind of mystery?
I know, right? Well, today we're going to unravel the mystery of GSM red wine blends, so you will know just exactly what they are.
I cannot wait.
Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your mysterious sommelier of mysteriously reasonably priced wine, and this is my mysterious wife and my mysterious wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the mysterious wine pair.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know.
This is getting up to be a lot.
Stupid. I know. Okay. A quick orientation for those of you who may be new to the podcast. In each episode, what we do is we learn about and taste and give our honest review of three wines, not dishonest, but honest review of three wines that are reasonably priced, which means under $20 each and should be easy for you to find. And our podcast is made for people like us, Carmela. Mysterious people who love wine and want to learn more about wine and find new wines to explore and feel more confident when we talk about and order wines and go to mysteries. I don't know what that is. Okay. So if that sounds like you, and
you're in the right place.
You're in the right place. That's right. It's not a mystery. And we invite you to taste these wines or wine from your stash along with us while you're listening. It's a fun way to participate in the podcast, as long as
you're not driving.
That's right. And we are proud to say that we are officially recommended by the editors of Decanter magazine, who call us fun, irreverent,
chatty,
and entertaining.
Whoa.
Okay.
And mysterious.
And they did. They said Mr. Mysterious. Okay, Carmela, today we're going to do an episode, as I already said, where we are going to demystify the GSM blend.
Thank goodness.
Now, do you find GSM blends mystifying?
They're so mystifying, intimidating, mystifying.
Mysterious?
Mysterious.
Do you like a good mystery?
I do. I just said I love a good mystery.
Okay, well, I did ask you that.
I mean, do you like a good mystery?
I do, but they stress me out a little bit. I will say they kind of stress me out. Okay.
Really? Like just like a show? Like
yeah. I'm like, come on.
Mystery.
Can we just
How about a
figure it
mystery
out?
book?
No, I don't. I just don't read books anymore. Okay,
wow.
So we did an episode about red wine blends a few months ago, a primer, if you will. And the GSM blend is one that we covered because it's one of the classic red wine blends. And there's kind of two sort of classic red wine blends.
Okay.
There's the Bordeaux style blend, which is usually heavy in Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. And then the GSM blend, which we're talking about today, which is a mixture of Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvèdre. And you can pretty much guess that if a wine says red wine blend on the label, it's probably one of these two blends. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could be other things, of course. Like there in other parts of the world, there might be blends of many different types of grapes. But when you see, like, especially on like an American bottle of wine, it says red wine blend, it's probably based on.
But they don't tell you sometimes if it's one or the other?
Well, that's the whole thing. I kind of have mixed feelings about red wine blends just because of that. Because they very often
want to be mysterious.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're so mysterious, they don't even tell you what kind of blend they're based on.
Weird.
So
you got to tell it's one or the other.
And they don't even, a lot of times they won't even tell you, like on the label, what is in the wine. Like I find that really frustrating. It'd be like going to a bartender and saying, I'll have a mixed drink.
Why do you think they do that?
I think because most people actually don't care that much.
Yeah, but that's why some people will say, "Oh, I like a blend."
Yeah, or sometimes people will say, "I don't like a red wine blend."
Right. Okay, yeah. Like, but some people want to order, let's get a blend. I mean, I've heard that before.
For sure.
It's so strange.
And I'll tell you, like a Bordeaux blend is very different from a Côtes du Rhône GSM style blend.
So then, if they tell you what kind of blend is it, do they tell you the percentages of each?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. So that's all part of the mystery as well.
And if it's not the blends that we just talked about, could it be, if it's another blend, would they tell you?
But they may or they may not. That's why I find red wine blends, when it says just red wine blend, I find that kind of frustrating and sometimes too mysterious.
Okay.
So from a very basic wine drinking perspective, I think knowing what a GSM blend is and knowing whether or not you like that kind of blend is kind of key, because that way you can more easily tell if you're going to like a wine or not.
Right.
And by the way, this is what I always say. If you go to a restaurant or someplace and you ask what kind of wine they have, and they say, "Oh, we have a red and white," and you say, "What's a red wine?" and they say, "What's a red wine blend?" and then you say, "Well, what's in it?" and they don't know, don't order it. I just wouldn't order it. I just wouldn't order it.
It's just, how do you know what you're actually getting? You want to know.
You want to know. And the other thing too is something that you said. The other thing about red wine blends that's really tricky is that the blend itself can vary a great deal, even from year to year, even from the same winemaker. And so, I think good winemakers try to make wine as consistently as possible, but because the percentage of each wine can vary in any given year or any given blend, it can be really hard to tell exactly what you're going to get in the blend. I do think good winemakers want to make the best wine possible and do want that consistency, but even so, there's going to be differences. Maybe one year, a certain grape, the Grenache, doesn't do so well, and so they do more Syrah. That they might do that because they're trying to make the best blend that they possibly can.
Right.
And then the last thing I'll say is that over the years, red wine blends have sometimes gotten a bad rap because I think some winemakers would just make crappy wines from crappy grapes.
Yeah,
and they put these crappy grapes together in a goulash and let it ferment.
God, it doesn't sound
no.
Maybe that's why they don't share it then too.
It might be because they just are like, we don't even know. We just took a whole bunch of grapes. We don't know what the percentage is. We just took a bunch of grapes and put it together.
Sounds like what your cook used to do.
Oh gosh, Mrs. G at school. At the end of every I was in a fraternity, and at the end of every week, it was like soup for lunch.
Soup.
Yeah, mysterious soup. And it was just basically stuff that we hadn't eaten during the week.
Gross.
Oh, Mrs. G. She had a lazy eye and she sang opera.
Wow.
There you go.
What a gal.
She was actually a very nice lady.
Good.
I don't know whatever happened to good old Mrs. G. I hope she's in a nice place somewhere.
She's drinking soup in a red wine blend.
I think knowing her, she probably would be drinking and singing opera.
She's into the blends. Yeah. She's into the blends.
She might be. Okay, so today, Carmela, we're going to demystify exactly what a GSM blend is, and then we're going to taste and review 3 GSM blends from different parts of the world.
Okay.
But first,
we got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us and for supporting our show. And we would love it if you just take a second right now to hit that subscribe button. Just hit it. Yep.
Click it or ticket.
Click it or ticket. And if you haven't done so yet and you like what you're hearing, we would love it if you could leave a rating and review. You can do it on our website. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. There's a bunch of different podcast services where you can do it. It's free. It's a free way to support us, and we would appreciate that. And you can follow us on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast, and you can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can find show notes there and other fun stuff and pictures and I don't know, all sorts of stuff. And as we do every week, we're going to tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, we're going to give you a prompt. Okay?
Another word?
Yeah. So no, it's not another word. So do this right now.
Okay.
I want you to think about someone you love or you care about or you like a lot that you haven't texted for a while. Someone you think you should have texted by now.
Me?
Yeah. No, I mean everybody, not just you.
Oh, I'm like, don't put me on the spot.
No, I'm not asking you to answer it. You've totally ruined this.
I'm sorry.
People out there in listening land, I hope that you've thought of somebody that you should have texted, you really care about, but you haven't texted for a while. But now you just need an excuse.
Now you're going to make people feel bad.
That is not the intention. My intention is to make them feel good.
Okay.
I'm giving them an excuse to reach out and touch reach out to somebody they haven't talked to and they should have texted a while ago. And what you're going to do is you're going to text them this episode. You're going to send them a text of this episode and you're going to tell them how much you love them. How about that? Just take it as a positive.
Okay. Oh, I'm in. I already have somebody in mind.
Oh, good. Text them. Text them right now.
Okay.
Okay, Carmela. Are you ready to learn just what the fuck a GSM blend is?
I am.
And what makes them special?
I'm so ready.
Okay. Well, we kind of gave the first part of it away that a GSM blend is a red wine blend made from the grapes Grenache, Syrah, or Shiraz, if you are of the Australian persuasion, and Mourvèdre. Okay. And there can be other grapes in there as well, but those are the 3 classic grapes in a GSM blend. Now, and usually the balance of the grapes, the blend, will follow those letters. There'll be mostly Grenache, then next will be Syrah, and then the least will be Mourvèdre. But some winemakers may flip that and use more Syrah than Grenache. It
so
just
then do
depends.
they say SGM?
Nope, they don't.
MSG?
Nope,
okay.
no, they want definitely not MSG because that's a whole different thing. Now, the difference between those is that a Grenache heavy wine will be a little lighter in flavor, more like fruity flavors and candied fruit and that kind of stuff. And a Syrah heavy wine will be a little richer and bolder and maybe spicier.
Okay.
And then Mourvèdre will never be the most. A Mourvèdre is really usually the smallest smallest part, and it's meant to add some tannin and maybe a little bit of flowery aroma to it. But it's definitely a blending grape.
Okay.
Sometimes, I mentioned this before, sometimes a GSM blend is called a Rhône-style blend, and that's because the classic home of the GSM blend is the Côtes du Rhône region of France. And in the Côtes du Rhône, to be called a Côtes du Rhône, they can actually use 19 different varieties of grapes in their blend.
Wow.
But again, the most classic is going to be those 3 GSM.
Okay, so some bottles of wine may have up to 19 grapes.
Yeah,
Well, no wonder they don't list them all out.
Exactly. They wouldn't.
My
They'd run out of
God.
ink.
Yes.
They'd run out of ink.
Yeah,
They'd have to
or
have a
space on the
huge
label.
bottle. Yeah, they have to. The whole thing would have to be labeled. So maybe that's why.
Okay.
Okay. So just know though that there are other wines from France that you have probably heard of that are actually GSM blends, and you may not have known they are GSM blends.
Okay.
So 2 famous ones are Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which our son hates the name of because he thinks it's pretentious, and Gigondas. Or Gigondas. I don't know how to say it correctly. Okay.
Both are very familiar.
Yeah, but those are wines for another day, but they are basically GSM blends.
Okay.
And you also have to remember that in France, wines are named after the regions most often, not after the grapes, which makes it extra kind of confusing and mysterious. But you got to just get used to that mystery.
Okay.
Now, GSM blends, Carmela, are not just found in the Côtes du Rhône area of France. They're found all over the world.
Wow.
South Australia, which again is famous for its Shiraz, which is their fancy word for Syrah. They make GSM blends, and we're actually going to have one from Southern Australia, a GSM blend. By the way, their M, when the M in the GSM, they call it Mataro, but that is the same grape. So Mataro, Mourvèdre, it's the same grape.
Okay.
The crazy Australians, right?
Right. They got to change it up.
Change it up. Put another shrimp on the
That's
Barbie.
okay.
They call it a Barbie, not a barbecue.
Wow.
They say that all the time,
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of their greeting.
That's
Put
the
another
thing.
shrimp on the Barbie.
Why not keep them guessing?
That's right. You can also find GSM blends in California, particularly in the Paso region, in our great state of Washington, and in Spain in an area called Priorat. Although the blend there is a little bit different, and their M may be a grape called Mazuelo, but we know it better as Carignan. Okay, are you totally confused?
Oh my.
Total
This is
mystery.
I was going to say, this is more and more mysterious by the moment.
Well,
here.
if you want to get a good reading on the mystery, you can go to this episode on our website, go to the show notes, and you can find links and don't memorize it. It's not that important.
It's a lot.
Now,
especially if you're driving, you can't take notes.
Exactly. And you can't be drinking, and don't close your eyes.
Oh boy,
Right?
oh boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are important things.
Remember
These
those
are
things. If you didn't
public
learn
service
anything at all,
announcement. Yeah.
remember those things.
And text your friend that you haven't texted in a while.
Right,
This
and your
episode.
mother. And text your mother if you haven't texted her today.
But what if she doesn't have a phone like my mom does?
Oh, wow.
Not.
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't text her. Visitor. Call her. Okay, quality GSMs.
Drop by.
Drop by. Just say hi. Quality GSMs, Carmela, are prized for their complexity and their ability to pair with foods, particularly Mediterranean foods, which makes sense because they're from France. And they're usually medium to full-bodied, and they got a lot of tannin and some pretty good acidity. And we said this before the episode, GSM blends are not totally our go-tos.
No.
So, but we're going to be open-minded as we taste them today.
Because we are here to make change. Like if we can embrace something.
Embrace change.
Yeah, embrace some change.
Embrace some change.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it before you have to be open to these things.
You do. You have to be open-minded.
Open your mind.
Open your mind, people. Open your eyes. Open your eyes while you're driving.
Ears. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And text that friend. And
your mother.
Yeah, text your mother unless she doesn't have a phone, and then just visit her. Anyway,
go by there, yeah.
But I do think again the GSM blend is just if you want to be a wine aficionado at all, you just kind of got to know what the blend is. So even though we don't love it, and maybe we'll change our mind today, we're going to be open-minded to it. I still think it's a very important thing to know. And by the way, some people love it. Some people just absolutely love it. And
it's a big market for it,
yeah,
right?
and Côtes du Rhône is known for their wine. So by the way,
people visit that area just to try their wine.
Yeah, so I think you need it, as the French would say, in your repertoire. Repertoire.
Okay.
Repertoire. That's exactly the way the French say it.
Just like that.
Repertoire.
Nice job, Joe. Nice.
Okay, thank you. So on that note, Carmela, I think it's time to learn a little bit about the wines we're going to taste today. What do you say?
I'm ready.
Maybe break open that mystery.
I was just going to say, I just about said break open the mystery.
No.
Yeah, and I don't have the script in front of me.
You're so good.
Wow.
We're just on the same wavelength.
Exactly. We're thinking the same.
We're just like there's a beam of brain between us.
Wow. Weird.
brain beam.
Okay, back to the show.
Okay. As usual, Carmela, all of the wines we have chosen for this episode are under $20, and all of them should be relatively easy to find because, after all, I bought them all on wine.com. I mean, you'll see the bill because you pay the bills. Although you can find a GSM blend, I think you can find it anywhere. Most of the wine areas I see in stores, they have a red blend section. There's always a section.
How
that says red
funny.
blend. And if you go to that section...
How mysterious.
Yeah, you'll likely find a GSM, right? And if the wine section has a French section or a Rhone section, you're going to find GSM blends, okay? The biggest trick, though, is that understanding, again, the mix of the grapes was challenging. And so that's why I didn't just buy one off the shelf. I went to wine.com so that I could kind of figure out what the blends were.
Okay, so we know the blends for each of these bottles.
Well, I think we do. In some cases, though, what's funny is like the winemaker site will have something different than like wine.com or even Wine Spectator will have. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, all of these wines also have good ratings from reputable wine reviewers. So we're giving them a chance. Even though we said, hey, maybe GSMs aren't our cup of tea, they're well regarded. These are well regarded, and so we're giving them a good chance.
People that we trust?
Yeah, not James Suckling.
Okay.
Other people.
Okay.
So in addition to being reasonably priced and easy to find, they at least have a shot at having a good getting a good rating from us. And again, a good rating from us is just a thing.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's good or bad. It means that's the way we feel about it. Again, as we always say,
that's when you can gauge if it's for you. Because if it's not for us, but you're typically not on the same wavelength as us,
you don't have the conjoined brain.
Exactly. Then perhaps you will love it.
Totally. Okay.
Wow.
So the first wine we're going to drink is called, I'm going to get all these wrong, Domaine Saint-Gayen Côtes du Rhône. Look, I'm pronouncing them all funny. You can go to the website. You can find the names of these wines in our show description as well. And as you can probably guess, this wine is from Côtes du Rhône in France. It's one of the two wines that we're going to be drinking today from that region. And I guess I wanted to make sure that if we're going to be having GSM blends, that they're from the home of the GSM.
Homeland, the motherland.
Yeah. And maybe in other episodes, we'll do some other GSM blends that are from other areas, the United States or wherever, Spain or wherever. Okay. This wine is actually from a winery that's in Gigondas, but it's technically not a Gigondas wine. And according to the winemaker, it's a blend of 60% Grenache, 25% Syrah, 10% Carignan, and 5% Mourvèdre. So it has another grape in it, and it's allowed to do that.
We did a Carignan episode.
We did. Yes.
And we were, not super
impressed.
Love with it.
No. But it's a blending grape.
Right. So maybe this is where it'll shine.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the wines, according to the winemaker, are said to grow in sandy clay, limestone, and rolled pebbles. So I'm very curious to see, as the French would say, if any of that terroir comes to our mouth buds.
Whoa.
Our mouth buds. Okay. And Wine Spectator.
Trying to impress me?
Kind of terroir.
Oh, nice.
And Wine Spectator, and again, terroir just means the place. It means the place the wine is from. Wine Spectator rated this wine a 90, and that's a good rating. The next wine we have is from Southern Australia, and it's called Darrenberg, the Stump Jump GSM. And right off the bat, I was super interested in this wine, and you like it too, Carmela, because one, it was pretty cheap. It was $12.99.
Wow.
It's from Australia, so that's kind of cool. It's got a pretty cool looking bottle. So if you go to our Instagram, you can see what the bottle looks like. It has a screw cap.
Whoa.
It tells you on the bottle that it's a GSM.
Okay.
And it got a 91 rating from Wine Enthusiast, and they named it a Best Buy.
Hey.
So this
not
one,
bad.
we're going to give this one a real good shot. And the fact that it has a screw cap, like,
that's already points for it.
Double
out
bonus.
Of the gate.
Yeah, double bonus.
Okay.
And the winemaker says the label is inspired by the eye charts at the eye doctors, which is
Oh
kind of
my goodness, I can't wait to see this.
You're going to like it.
Okay.
This wine is a blend of 46% Grenache, 42% Shiraz, and 12% Mourvèdre. And again, often the Australian GSM blends will be heavier in Shiraz or Syrah, but this one's sort of split pretty evenly between those two. Now, the winery also says this: the grapes used in this wine are mostly from very old bush vines and underwent gentle crushing, traditional open tank fermentation. So that's interesting. Maybe they're using natural yeast, basket pressing, and oak maturation prior to bottling. So a little bit of oak on it. And I think GSM wines you're going to find are oaked. They are oaked. And French wines, generally oaked. This winery is supposed to be well known for their Shiraz in general, and some of their vines go back more than 100 years.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Definitely old vines.
Yeah, for sure. And then our last wine is called Les Alejandrins Terrasses de Ledran Côtes du Rhône. I totally butchered that. Again, just look at
the
our
accent. I'm trying to figure that one out.
Terrible. No. And it's obviously, again, from the Rhône region of France. And the blend on this one is 60% Grenache, 30% Syrah, and 10% Mourvèdre. So all of the wines have slightly different blends.
Yeah.
So again,
this one has the most of the Grenache.
Well,
right?
I think the...
what was the first one?
No, the first one also had 60% Grenache, but that one had a little Carignan in it, and this one doesn't. Okay. So I like all of these wines, it's interesting. All of them have, again, slightly different blends. And so it'll be interesting to see if we can taste the difference.
And the only one with the fourth blending grape is the Carignan one.
The first one.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
And this wine got an 89 rating from Wine Spectator, which is also actually a very good rating.
Okay.
On the website, the winemaker says this: after the harvest is sorted and destemmed, vinification takes place in stainless steel and oak, aging partly in wood fermenters and partly in stainless steel vats for 8 months. So we've kind of heard this before, that sometimes they split. Sometimes they'll put it all in oak, or sometimes they'll do it all in stainless steel. This one they did a little bit of blending of even the media in which it is placed in. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And they also noted in the website that the summer the wine was made in was a very dry and hot summer, and they recommend aging. So this wine, and I think all of our wines are actually 2017s. So they're, we'll see if that's long enough. We'll see if we can tell.
They've been cellared for a little while.
So we'll see if it's still sharp, if the wines are kind of sharp, or if they've kind of mellowed out a bit.
Okay.
And then we also open them. So they've been open now for about a half an hour. So that helps to mellow out wine sometimes too.
Sure.
I think that's enough information, Carmela.
Okay.
I think we should start to drink. Get our drink on.
Woo!
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first GSM blend.
All right.
Okay, we are back, and we are ready to try our first GSM blend. This, again, I apologize to everybody out there in listening land. My pronunciations are going to be terrible. This is the Domaine Saint-Gayen Trécat Côtes du Rhône. It's from Rhône, France, obviously. It's a 2017. It was $15.99 at wine.com. 14% alcohol. So I think we're going to find these wines a little bit higher in alcohol too. Again, 60% Grenache, 25% Syrah, 10% Carignan, and 5% Mourvèdre. And again, Wine Spectator gave this wine a 90. So Carmela, what are you smelling?
It's nice. You know what? The first thing I'm smelling is, I know you've said this before, but like a little tomato.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just like out of the gate, that's what I'm getting.
To me, it's got earthiness to it. Definitely has an earthy
But it's nice.
soil.
There is some sweetness behind it, though. I don't feel like it's too like dirt-like.
What kind of fruit? Is it cherry? Are you smelling like a cherry kind of fruit?
I think so. I don't know why I'm getting that vegetable.
I'm getting vegetable
too.
But no, I'm definitely getting vegetable. Almost like a green pepper or some kind of vegetable like that.
But I think there's some cherry behind it for sure.
And spicy. I think it smells a little spicy too. Don't you get a little spice?
Like a black pepper.
More
spice.
pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This one came up before, and here's a smell for you. Olive.
Oh,
black olive.
Interesting.
You're getting a little black olive?
A little bit, because I almost feel like there's a little brininess on this too. Do you think?
Like salty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the olive has
Like
that
a
little
salty
bit of,
old man?
it's like a little salty. Yeah. No, really. Like,
Okay. I like it. Should we try it and just see what we think? I will say it's a dark wine. It's very dark, and it's complex, and the smell is complex.
Hard to kind of put your nose on it.
Put your nose on. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yes, because there's a lot going on, and it's all good. Like I don't think there's anything like off smelling about it.
It's much more tart than I was expecting.
Wow, I'm thinking it's sweet though too.
Sweet,
fruitier than I thought.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. It's fruity, but tart. I think there's tartness to it.
Well, maybe it's almost like an underripe or like a Rainier cherry.
Okay.
Rather than a Bing cherry.
A sweeter.
Yeah.
It's pleasant. It doesn't linger. It's got a little bite on the aftertaste.
It's a little bit of alcohol. I mean, it's a little bit of, like, even if you smell it when you're drinking it, there's a little bit of rubbing alcohol on the nose too.
Mm-hmm. But it does dry off a little bit. You can tell it's got good acidity.
Well, I like it.
I like it too. Yeah. I think it's nice. And it would be good with, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but I think this would be good with food.
I think so too.
It feels like a good food wine.
It's not, the thing about this is that I feel like this is, I feel like it's a pretty balanced wine too. Like it's complex, but it's like, there's nothing that's like it's so drying your tongue off, or it's so tannic, or
so like
punch you in the
oaky,
face.
or
Yeah,
so
it's a little more balanced, a little more like approachable for a GSM.
It's got a little bit of elegance to it, you know, a
for
little
sure.
bit of like, it's not overpowering. It's sort of like it's a good like dinner wine.
Right. And it's not something too, with some of the wines that we taste that we're expecting him to be kind of punch you in the face, you almost like want to take a step back because you're like, oh, I'm not so sure. But I think like this is a pleasant surprise.
I agree. What food would you have with this wine?
Well, I think you could do some big things. Like you said, there's a touch of elegance to it. So I could see like a roast, like a pot roast, something fall-like.
That's what it's funny you said that, because I was thinking a little fall. Thinking a little fall.
Even like a saucier pasta, like a bolognese pasta. I don't know. What else are you thinking?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking meat pastas, like a ragu or something would be really good. I don't know why I think about this, but with French foods, I always kind of think of creamy. So isn't there, I'm going to get this wrong, but like a beef stroganoff, right? Like kind of a creamy beef pasta kind of thing. Like I could kind of see that.
It's still bold. It's like still a bold, like rich meal.
Yeah.
But it's a cream too. So I think this would cut right through it, like in a nice way. It would complement it.
I think so too. And I was also thinking like beef Wellington. You know what beef Wellington is?
Well, I don't know if I've ever really had it. I've heard about it.
It's a beef. It's like a big roast that's kind of baked in
individual little guys.
No. It's in bread. Like it has like breading around it.
I don't
like
know if I've ever had that.
Like almost like a croissant kind of breading around it.
Ooh, it sounds really good.
I think this would go really well with it. But it just seems like something like that would be good. Jesus Christ. Some of this is going to get cut out. But I think those kinds of, you people don't know what we cut out of these episodes. That's the mystery. The mystery is what did we just cut out?
What stays?
But no, I think it's a good food wine. I think it's very pleasant. I think it's nice. It's not what I was expecting.
No.
I got to be honest. I think, and especially, the vegetal kind of smell, I was like, I wonder, but it's nice. It's a nice wine.
I think so too. And I don't actually, it's not off-putting in the smell either. It's not coming through in the taste as much, which is good. But it didn't bother me in the smell.
No, I think actually too, this one is a little bit more in our style in that I think if you want a really big, bold wine, it's not super bold. It's kind of got this like austereness to it, this sort of like laid back, like kind of held back.
Gentle, a little more gentle.
Yeah. So I think if you love a really big red wine, I'm not sure you're going to love this, but this has nice flavor to it.
Yeah.
So let's rate this wine. And as a reminder to our friends out there in listening land, let's not make this a mystery. Let's make this very clear. We rate on a scale of 1 to 10, no halvesies, whole numbers. Come on, people. Open your eyes. Where 7 and above means that we're going to buy it. And a 4 and below means that we're likely to pour it down the sink. And a 5 or 6 means, hey, we'll drink it. We'll finish it. We're not going to toss it aside or pretend that we didn't pour it, but we might look for something else.
Okay.
Or at least we're not going to buy it, most likely. Okay, so what would you give this wine? This one's tough for me, I have to say.
I'm having a hard time too because I'm actually really enjoying it. I think it's a nice wine. Absolutely, I drink it. I would buy it too, for sure. Again, it's not my go-to, but I'm definitely giving it a solid 7.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow.
I'm liking it a lot.
Good,
this is a wine I could see serving to people, serving to your father, serving to friends.
Okay.
I could see this wine.
Good, okay.
I think it's a nice, again, it's not overpowering. It's very pleasant.
It's a great food wine.
Great food wine.
Yeah.
So I like it. Open-minded.
Wow, look at you going out on a limb.
Woohoo! You want me to go out on a limb, so I fall into the river.
You just
the Rhone
suggested
River.
it. I didn't say a word.
Right. Okay. On that note, we're going to take a break, and we're going to try our next wine.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our next GSM. This is the Derenberg, the Stump Jump GSM. Derenberg is a small d and an apostrophe A, just in case you're wondering. This is from South Australia, so obviously in Australia. This is, again, a 2017. This one was $12.99 at wine.com. It's 14.5% alcohol, so even a little bit more.
And this pounded.
Getting hammered. 46% Grenache, 42% Shiraz, and 12% Mourvèdre. And again, wine enthusiasts gave it a 91 and called it one of their best buys. And I will just say right off the bat, it's dark, but it's not as dark as the last one. It's a lighter wine. But what are you smelling, Carmela? You're not loving it. That look on your fotch was not so
Wow.
happy.
Well, the first thing I smelled was a stinky sock.
Really?
Stinky sock.
I think it smells super similar to the last one.
Really?
I'm getting
I
that
feel like
earth.
I think it's like smells warm.
Yeah,
That's
spicy.
weird.
No,
I don't know.
I'm totally with you. I'm getting spice. I'm almost getting a little bit of like the tar on a road. You know, like they're setting the road. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
When you're driving
yeah.
by and you get, it's not that harsh. But it's like a little bit of that smell.
See, mine is more. It's almost like steam, like a pavement or a tar,
Smells-
like you said. Like it's kind of like
Warm. I agree.
yeah, like you almost feel like there could be a little. You could put your hand on top of this, and it would warm your hand up. Mm-hmm. It's kind of strange.
It is strange. No, I'm with you though. So spicy. I'm definitely getting spicy.
Like what kind of spice?
I think that peppery kind of
Okay,
warm
okay.
spices, like
Okay.
hot spices.
Hot spices, not like a baking spice.
No, and there's a little bit of fruit, but not a lot. But it's more vegetal again, more earthy and vegetal in it. Like almost a little bit of asparagus or something on this
Yeah,
one.
it's a little bit. To me, it's a little off. I'm not saying it's going
Okay.
to taste that way, and I'm not saying it's a bad bottle. It just
No.
has a little bit of a dirty.
Dirty, you
It's
dirty
a-
wine. It's a dirty wine. Okay, you dirty wine drinker. Let's drink some dirty wine.
Ooh, tart. Wow,
Super tart.
so tart. Not steamy at all.
It's really tart.
Spicy.
Like a tart berry, like a tart
Raspberry. Yeah, I would agree.
or even a tart strawberry.
Or cranberry or something.
cranberry.
Like
It's
tart.
really
Yeah,
tart.
There's no sweetness on the taste.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's got a little sweetness. Why?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like you felt bad about the wine.
Oh,
Poor
come on,
wine.
wine. There's a little fruit in you, a little sweetness.
You're getting a little bit of sweetness, though, huh?
Definitely. It's got some complexity on it. You don't like it that
No,
much.
I just think it's really tart.
I kind of like it.
Okay.
To me, it's like that last wine, but I agree. It's tart, more tart. It's sharper than the last wine, but it's not. It's a little more alcohol-y. Mm-hmm. It's a little more lingery. It's not. It doesn't have. It's not the same kind of elegance as the last one, but it's a similar flavor.
Well, and you know what? They've almost given you an opportunity to have this as a very casual bottle of wine. Because if you look at the
Great
label,
point, yeah.
it's almost like they're dubbing themselves as being a casual bottle. I don't think I'm not saying it couldn't be a fancy dinner party wine, but the look of it is very easygoing, very casual, very summer, I don't know, barbecue,
100%.
outdoor stuff.
I'm 100. No, you just said it. I'm 100% with you. I think this is a grill. This is a cookout wine. This is a shrimp on the Barbie wine. This is
On the Bobby.
No, this is a outdoor burger. I would have this with burgers. It would taste really good. This is I think it is a party kind of wine. It's an outdoor kind of wine. It's a cookout wine. It's a casual wine. It's nice. It's
It is,
good.
yeah.
I think this will please a lot of people.
I also think too, you really have to let some of these wines open up. Even now,
Yeah.
having
I
it
think
in a
you're right.
glass, pouring it at first, it's like it still needs to bloom a little bit or something.
I'm
or
with
like
you.
now it's mellowed out a little bit.
No, I'm fully with you. I do think we did, again, as I said, we opened these up, and I do think they need to be opened up for a while. So I'm 100% with you, Carmela. Any other foods you might pair with this GSM?
I think you're right. I think you've got, I could even see like a brisket or
totally.
or something in the smoker. Like if you have a
Smoky.
smoker and you're, doing some sausages.
Smokes. Oh, God, we are on the same wavelength today. Smoked sausage,
Okay.
totally. Smoked cheese sausage, even, would be really
That
good.
sounds really good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're on the same wavelength.
Okay.
So let's give this one a rating. What would you rate this one, my dear?
Wow. Well, you were just supposed to say my love, but then you said my
like I
dear.
pulled that
Did you kind of
back.
get like,
We
"Ee."
got a little.
Oh, God, too much, too fast. Okay.
Well, it is a dirty wine.
You're such a dirty wine.
Dirty wine.
No, I'm going to give it a 6 because I'm
Oh
going
my gosh.
to buy the other one before I'm going to buy this.
But would you buy this one at all? I guess is my question.
if I'm going to buy one of these, I'm going to buy the first one.
Okay. Well, I respect that. I respect you. I respect your
Nice,
taste.
even though you're a dirty
A
bottle
dirty
of
wine. I'm giving this one a 7. I would buy it.
Okay.
I think if we were having a party, I would buy this wine. I think I would buy it, and I
good.
think people would like it. I think you'd have a lot of people that would be like, ooh, what is this wine? No,
Really?
not like ew.
They go, ooh.
It'd be like, oh, what is this wine? Is it French?
They turn into
And then I'd say,
speaking people?
no, partner, it's shrimp on the barbie.
that's
It's
right.
Australian.
Oh, man.
That's the worst Australian accent
That
ever.
was something else.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it a 7. I would definitely buy it.
Okay, great.
Okay, well, I think it's time to take another break, and we're going to try our last wine.
All right.
Dirty wine. Okay, we are back, and we are ready to try our last GSM blend. This is the, and I'm going to totally again butcher this, Les Alejandrins Terrasses de l'Erdon Côtes du Rhône. It's from Rhône, France. That was the worst French accent. I don't know.
And it sounded kind of Italian.
Yeah, exactly. 2017 is the year. It was $15.99 at wine.com. This one is only 13.5% alcohol, so it's the lowest of the three. And it's 60% Grenache, 30% Syrah, and 10% Mourvèdre. And the professional rating on this got an 89 from Wine Spectator. So, Carmela, what are you smelling on this wine?
Okay, I don't know what's going on with my nose, but I feel like this one also smells a little bit like tomato soup. There's something vegetable on it, or tomato soup, or something.
Okay, I'll buy it. I'll totally buy it.
I don't know what's going on.
This one to me has the strongest flavor or smell, and maybe the harshest smell.
It smells alcohol-y to me, and I know it's the least amount, but
There's something really
strong.
vegetal in it.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, but almost like, I don't like to say this, almost smells like almost a rotten vegetable. Like the vegetable is turned a little bit.
Okay, so it's a little off smelling.
It's a little, but
it could
not
be
in an
the
off
earthy,
way.
dirt
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not-
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's gone bad. I think that's the smell.
I get what you're saying though. Sometimes when you have like lettuce that's been almost about to turn,
Yeah, it's like been it's got a little brown.
or zucchini, or
Yeah.
something that kind of gives a different scent when it's on the way to becoming not
Bad.
so good.
Yeah, like you're going to compost it. I will say this one does have a candy smell to it too. For some
Like
reason, I'm
licorice
getting a
or-
weird kind of candy smell. Yeah,
I'd
like
say there's maybe some red licorice.
or almost like a cherry Jolly Rancher.
Oh, okay.
Like it almost has this weird, like super sweet, also smell to it. So I don't know.
It's changing a little bit. It's kind of like
Well, I kind of think
evolving.
it makes a difference if you let it sit in the glass versus if you spin it. I think if you spin it, you get more of that vegetal smell, and if you don't, I think you get more of the sweetness.
okay.
Like now, smell it.
see
You
that.
haven't spun it for a while. Now just smell it. It's a little more sweet, like almost a candy
and a
sweet.
little more mild.
Yeah. Okay, so let's taste it and see what we think. It's actually way different tasting.
Ooh, it's more mellow.
Way
Yeah.
more mellow.
Way more mellow.
It does have though like kind of a lingering, like late palate nerdy wine talk kind of almost dirt or clay kind of feel to it, which
Right.
is not a bad taste.
No.
It's actually kind of a classic taste, especially if it's using like if it's in soil with pebbles. Was this the one that we said that about? Hold on.
I think so.
No, this wasn't that one, but it did say that this was the hot. Like it may need a little bit more time too, but it's
right.
much smoother tasting than it smelled.
And much smoother, I think, than the second one. Mm-hmm. It's a little more like palate pleasing for the maybe not so much GSM lover.
Yeah, I think so. I actually think it's thin. It's pretty. It doesn't have as much body as the other two.
And they say these are medium to full bodied wines.
Yeah, this
right?
is definitely medium
Yeah,
body.
I agree. Yeah, it's not, doesn't have the complexity of even the first two.
Yeah,
It's definitely more mild.
it's pleasant.
No,
it's nice.
nice. It is nice. And I do think, like I said, sometimes these are the type that people who don't drink them often might enjoy.
I also feel like this is, if we had tried this one first, I kind of feel like you're not a red wine lover. You might have said, oh, this is pretty good. I kind of like this wine.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could almost serve it a little chilled. Like it's pretty light red wine. And so I kind of think for somebody who may not be a red wine lover, they may really like this wine.
I would agree. What would you have with it?
Yeah, I think this is a little bit more of a charcuterie board kind of wine, maybe a cold cuts or like, salumi and cheese. I don't know that I would put it up against some of the heavier roasts or even like grilled meats and those kinds of things, I think it would do okay. But it feels to me more like a grilled chicken kind of wine.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a teriyaki chicken or something.
Right. Or even like this might be a nice Thanksgiving dinner wine too.
I'm 100% with you.
Yeah,
like
with
a bird,
turkey
more of a
and-
bird
yeah.
wine.
Wow, the white meat.
Yeah.
And how about the other white meat?
Pork, I think you could do pork, like a spicy pork. I think this would be okay with. I
yeah.
think this would do well with ramen. I think this would be really good with a ramen, with like a pork in the ramen.
I think so
and the
too.
egg and the whole thing. I think this would be
Yes,
good with it.
that would be
Because
really good.
It's not overpowering, and I think it would balance well. It's got a little spice to it, so I think it would
and
balance
even like
well.
some sort of fried foods, I think like you could do like egg rolls,
100%.
gyoza, some of those type of things.
We're getting Chinese food tonight.
Oh,
I
man.
can feel it.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's nice though.
I think it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, what rating would you give this wine, Carmela?
So I think because I really liked the first one, but I think this one is kind of in my wheelhouse in terms of red
That
wines
you would
that
drink.
I would
Yeah.
choose. So I'm giving this one a 7 as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm giving this one a 6.
Oh,
I think
wow.
this is the one I would be least likely to buy.
Okay.
I'm not sure that it's a fair 6 because I think I might buy it. I just think if I was going to buy one of these 3 to give to like friends, this would not be the first one. Okay. It's a beautiful bottle though. It looks really pretty.
Really pretty.
Nobody
Beautiful on the table.
Yeah, and nobody would be upset with it. Let's just be really frank. Like, I'm probably giving it too harsh of a rating because it's a good wine. Yeah. It's a good wine. So of these 3, Carmela, which one are you going to finish tonight?
I'm pretty sure I like to take the first one.
Yeah, I think
about
we're gonna.
you? I think you're on that same
I think we're gonna
page.
fight over the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one is
That's the winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, that's the Domaine Saint-Gaillon Trécat, the Côtes du Rhône. Okay, well, let's talk about the taste profiles that are expected from a GSM.
Okay.
So the general taste profile, according to Wine Folly, is raspberry, blackberry, rosemary, baking spices, and lavender. Okay. The Domaine Saint-Gaillon Wine Spectator said, mature, offering a plume of warmed cherry and blood orange puree with sandalwood, red tea, and dried garrigue notes. Shows energy. Okay. SBJ.com says, this blend boasts a medium body and full fruity aroma featuring dried summer fruits, blackberries, dark plums, and spice.
Okay.
I was impressed by the softness and depth of flavor in this wine. Okay. The Darenberg, I don't think we are on a different wavelength from some of these people.
Yeah.
Darenberg, the Stump Jump. Wine enthusiast said ripe, fleshy blueberries and raspberries drive this red blend without too much oak getting in the way. Underbelly of flowers, cinnamon, and peppery spice.
Okay.
Tannins are muscular. The fruit is juicy, silky, and fresh. And then Mad Wine says the nose is bursting with raspberry, strawberry, mulberry, whatever that is, and spice. The palate is juicy and silken. Okay, well, let's do this last one. The Les Alejandrins, or whatever you say it. Wine Spectator said unadorned cherry and raspberry puree notes with light red licorice and bergamot accents. Bergamot is like a flower.
Right.
Vine Pear says, if you're in a wine shop or supermarket and see this wine, it works as a last-minute pickup. It has balance and dark general fruit with good acidity and tannin. It's not going to knock anyone out of the park, but it's a solid, easy-drinking red for a wine table at a party. I fully agree with that.
Absolutely.
100%. I think that's spot on. Well, what do you think about GSM blends?
Well, I think that these were great choices.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I really came into this thinking we're going to really dislike these wines.
Right. No, I do think we opened our minds and boom, blown, I'd say, in terms of like something we would not choose. Typically, I think these are all wines that we would happily drink and would even buy.
I agree. I liked it. I'm surprised how much I like them. I'm surprised that now I've got here's going to be another shipment to the door.
My goodness.
No, but if I were looking for wines to drink, at a French restaurant or something, I would definitely choose one of these wines. So I'm super happy. This is why you do it. You gotta try different wines so you know what you like.
Right. And you would share this with my dad. It sounds
I totally
like.
would.
Oh my goodness.
I totally would. Okay, Carmela, so it's just about time for us to go, sadly. But before we do, we want to thank all of you out there in listening land for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, just click that subscribe button. Just click it. Just click it and you'll feel good about yourself. How about that?
Wow.
Some instant karma.
And then share it with the person you have not reached out to in a while.
That's right. More
Text
instant
them.
karma. More instant karma. And And if you get a chance to, we'd love it if you'd leave us a nice rating review on our website or an Apple Podcasts or other service where you can do that. Again, free way to support us and help us grow listeners. And we'd love to hear from you. And so you can leave a message for us on our website at thewinepairpodcast.com. You can email us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast. Again, next time you listen, maybe drink along with us. Make it a date night.
Oh,
how about that?
With the person that you haven't texted in a while. Just
unless you're not romantically interested in that
like
person.
if it's your mom.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, you can have a date night with your mom.
You could actually.
Yeah.
You could just hang out.
Yeah.
Listen to the Wine Pair Podcast.
Date doesn't mean like,
you're right.
Steady.
You're totally right.
Okay.
Yeah, you could get drunk with your mom.
Wow.
Get drunk with your mom.
Don't
When's
send
the
her
last
home
time you
though
did
in
that?
the car. Like
No.
She's got to spend the night.
Get her an Uber.
Uber's good. Uber's good. Yeah.
All right. With that, we're going to sign off. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Arrivederci. No, what's it in French?
I don't know. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir. We're not saying that right.
No. Au revoir.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much. Always drink too much. Always pray too much. Always play too much. And when I'm with you too much, I fall in love too much. And when I'm away too much,